Okay, guys, as you know, Stacey Abrams and black women allegedly saved the country. And now Stacey Abrams is going on a campaign to fight against the new Jim Crow voting laws that Republicans are trying to enact by requiring IDs. Now we know that's black people are just being used in this case because the only people who don't have IDs are illegal immigrants because they can't go get driver's license because they're not citizens. But now you can get them to vote if you get black people to fight for the right to vote without having to show your identification card when you go vote. So now illegal immigrants can vote. Not black people who all got IDs. But that's neither here nor there. Stacey Abrams. Stacy, Big Stacy. Big Stace in the house. Stacy. Big Stacy. Big Stacy, she's claiming that the reason she lost the governor's race in 2018 is because of racism. And the reason, anytime there's a race and the liberal person doesn't win because 97% of black women are going to vote for the liberal candidate. So anytime the liberal candidate doesn't win, who is who the black women want to win, it's because of racism. But there's a professor, a female black professor, who just destroyed that narrative. I mean, blew it out of the water.
On voter suppression arguments, and here's the provocative proposition I want to put in front of you, Professor Swain. It is this. If Stacey Abrams had been pro-life, she'd be governor of Georgia right now. Okay? So, therefore, if all of the people who are hollering about black people not getting a voice want to have a voice in the South, all they have to do is untether themselves from the left wing of the Democratic Party and reflect the historically resonant moral position of black people who are largely reverent Christian people by standing up for values that are not inconsistent with the interests of blacks, but rather are an authentic expression of those interests. She'd be governor of Georgia right now. So while she's running around blaming racists for blocking black people from getting to the ballot box, she's the one who's not representing black people.
Well, I mean, you could argue that's the entire civil rights leadership. Back, in the early days, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton were pro-life. And you think about the millions of black babies that have been aborted over the decades, they would be voters now. We would be the largest minority in the country as opposed to the Hispanics today, because we have killed off so many, potential black voters. And so that is very problematic. And it seems that with black women, so many of them have been captured by white, liberal, feminist politics, and it's not in the interest of blacks. And I think that black men, more of them are woke as to what is happening. And as a consequence, President Trump, or candidate Trump, in 2016 got more of the votes of black men than black women. Black women, they are really deceived. They're working against their own self-interest.
Okay.
Wow. So instead of blaming white racism for asking for your ID when you show up at the voting booth. The racist white man trying to make sure you're who you say you are. You're really LaQuanda O'Neal or Jamaica McDonald or whoever you want to say you are. Instead of blaming the racist white man for trying to confirm your identity at the voter booth before you vote for the leader of the free world, why not look in the mirror and think and see how you aborted millions and millions of potential black voters over the last few years? Wow. And how if those millions of people were alive and were able to vote the way you wanted them to vote, you would be governor. So-and-so would be mayor. So-and-so would be vice president. Or so-and-so would be this. So-and-so would be that. But the reason they're not is because all those black voters died before they even had a chance to live. Because white women told you to abort your babies. And you listen.